Today, I want to address all the overthinkers. You out there who your mind's racing all the time. I don't know if you have the same story as me, but I want to share one with you today because I think I found a solution. It's not something to do, actually. It's something to not do. And it's changed my life. Over the last 2 years, I've overthought a lot of things. I started off by overthinking talking to people. I thought myself not popular, like I couldn't do much of anything. And so I went on a journey of finding how to talk to people. I read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, 52 tips and tricks on how to talk to anyone. I looked at TikToks for hours on being better at talking to people, rizzing up girls, literally anything you could think of. And then I spent a whole summer, the best summer of my entire life. I talked to my first girl ever. Yeah, big man over here at 16. I talked to my first girl ever that I went up and talked to her and initiated a romantic relationship. Now, that one didn't pan out. The next one also didn't pan out. The next one after that didn't pan out. And the next one after that, the exact same. Because every time I got past the phase of tips and tricks and quick fixes, and I started to like this person and they started to like me, then I realized I didn't know where to go. There was no guidebook on how to love someone, how to talk to your friends. I started overthinking talking to my own friends. I started thinking, do they even like me? Does my girl even love me anymore? And I went through so many, and then I fell into like the deepest state of my life. It was homecoming. I had a girl and it was like my prize jewel. I thought she was everything. She was a senior, I was a junior. I thought I had everything. I was going bragging to everyone, and then when me and her would get in the car together, I couldn't even talk to her. I didn't know what to talk about. I thought, why don't I have any quick prompt subjects to talk about? And I fell off that horse, and I just didn't know how to get back up. And then wrestling came around. I did wrestling that winter. And I found another girl also. And one day, after getting my ass beat in wrestling, my girl, she left me and she found another dude. She just let me know. She was like, sorry, I found another dude. And I had freaking black eye. My whole body ached. I hadn't been eating. I was hungry. I was beat down. And now the final stroke came. I was emotionally killed. And I sat there. You know what? I cried, man. Cried for hours. I slept on the floor because I thought, I don't deserve the bed I sleep on. Look at where I've got myself. But then I got up the next day and I said, fine, you know what? And I got really angry at everything. And of course, this was about the exact time that David Goggins was taken off, and I jumped on the train. And I went and I worked out, and I actually became the best shape of my life. I started winning wrestling matches. And I kept trying to talk to girls. Because something in the back of me just was like, it's an interesting concept, the want to be wanted. I wanted that from everyone. I wanted to be the center of attention all the time. I wanted to be wanted by everyone. And you know, I knew I could get it by, if I overthought just the right amount, I could say something that makes something do this, that makes them want me. I could take someone, I could hear that they like to go biking, and I'd do anything to go biking with that person so they would like me more because they like biking. And I realized that's no way to live. And I went on months and months of this, and I thought, okay, I'm going to let go. I'm going to start healing. I'm going to start living my life instead of trying to punch through life. I was like, why can't I just live? And so I went up to my grandmother's. And that was the beginning of this summer. I went up to my grandmother's, and you can see some of the progress I made in my videos. I started to understand things, but I still didn't get how to stay present. I've even made videos on it. It's still true. Being happy is being there. I'll stick with it. But I didn't understand how to move on. I kept falling back into, I need to talk to girls. I just have to. I have to be popular. I have to have friends, and I have to know they like me all the time. I have to be, what do they call that? I had to be affirmed. Affirmation of everything. And I met a girl over the summer, and she wasn't like the rest. In a way. She was one of those that didn't fall into the daily temptations we see today of just rampant sex and cussing and just straight up not following what we know to be right, what we know will give us happiness. We just go on, we keep following. Like Aristotle, if you ever heard of him, Aristotle said, people live lives suitable for cattle. They do. They follow their stomachs. They follow their dicks around. They don't follow themselves. They don't have anything to follow. So they're led like cattle by the flashy kaleidoscope colors. They sit there, led by cattle. It's a bad way to live. But I found this girl, she wasn't like that. No social media. Which, good in itself, but she also had faith. She had faith in God. Now, I know people don't like this on this anywhere. Social media. People hate talking about God. Big man upstairs. They'll call him anything except their Lord or their God. And I even struggled with that. I just wouldn't accept it. I said, yeah, me and him are buddies. But I realized, I was like, me and him, we good, we chill. Me and God chill, bro. Yeah, me and him, we buddies. Yeah, I talk to him at night. We're chill, but I didn't follow his way. I didn't care to. And so I went through the summer and I found this girl, and she did follow God's way. And she's going to be happy with someone. But me and her got along even. Okay, sorry. This is what happens when you fall in love, kids. Don't do it. But me and her, we actually got along. We had the greatest time of our life at a church camp where I met her. Oh, yeah. Really good story this one would be. Anyway, we met at a church camp. And we met playing cornhole. And we just hit it off. And she was, yeah, like I said, she followed God. She followed reason. She didn't fall into temptation like I had so many times before. And she liked me. And you know what I said? I was scared, actually. I was scared. I said, this is too good. And so I just let her go as friends. I was like, okay, I can hold on to her longer if we're just friends. And I was like, okay. And it went pretty good until school started and homecoming came around. And I said, you know what? I can have friends to homecoming. And so I invited her to homecoming. And like most times, I started overthinking it. I said to myself, she likes me, and I kind of want to be I want to be more than friends, but I don't want it to end. And that's kind of it's a scary roof to jump off of, but I did, and I kept going, but I was still stuck in that frame of mind from 2 years ago, saying, what can I do to make her like me? What can I do to make people like me? What can I do to make people need me? And that's a dangerous road. I went on. I sent licorice to her school. I wrote her a poem. I called her every day almost for an hour. And I was absolutely terrible at it because I sat there and I was still trying to think, how can I make her like me? Even though she just liked me as a person, as a human being. Just how I was. You know what? I screwed it up. I completely fell off the horse because my friends call it brick wall syndrome. I just stare. And I'm sitting there overthinking my entire life. Every decision I made for this girl. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Why doesn't she telling me she loves me all the time? And it got to homecoming and I had nothing left to say. I was dried up, washed up. My brain was dead. I'd overthought. I'd sat. I'd done everything. I'd even reopened Snap. I'd started re-snapping people. Even for my video here to quit social media, I'd quit everything. I had followed this girl. I had made my life's direction for this girl to be my wife, actually. In the end, I was so crazy. We weren't even dating, and I made it my life's mission to make this girl my wife. And so when homecoming rolled around, how could I hide my deep desire? I couldn't. So I sat there and overthought how I could. And you know what? Can you talk to someone that's sitting there overthinking? Can you talk to someone who's not even there? Whose brain's so far away that I don't even know. But she couldn't. She left. She sent me off with a thank you so much. And never talked to me again. And you know what I realized? It was time to let go. To let go of needing to be needed, of needing everyone's approval. To let go of my expectations for every day of my life. To let go of the limits I'd put on myself. To let go of things that had come up from so long ago, from so recently, from right now, from yesterday, from tomorrow. I had to just let go because I realized you only have right now. I get shot through the head right now. I don't know. Some freak hunting accident out here. Maybe there's a coyote sitting right on the hill over there. Somebody shoots, boom, goes through him right into my head. And I realized you gotta if you were holding on to everything, you can't live. And if you can't live, then what's the point of being here? And overthinking it and everything. So I went on a journey. I let go of everything. I just went into school every day. And before that, I'd have like a list of things to do to make people like me. Almost had a list of things to do to make people like me in my head. And one day I decided, is it really worth it? All the trouble of overthinking? Is it really going to make my friends go away if I stopped this? Would it make the friends I'm not supposed to have go away? And I said, yeah, probably, but that's all right. Would it make girls I could have gotten, but then I would still have to overthink and try hard every day to keep them around? Yeah, they'd probably go. And I said, that's okay. And I realized you have to just be you. You have to be okay with being you. And so I tried it. Day after day, I went into school, and I just lived. I didn't have any expectations for the day. I just lived. I did what I had to do, what I knew I have to do to be happy. Have a moral compass and follow it. To do what's right, not to do what you want. And I fell. It doesn't matter. And I fall on my face almost every day. But the point is, I'm happier now. After I let go, because, like Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than reality. Or Buddha. The root of all suffering is attachment. But what he's getting at is the Stoics, maybe even Marcus Aurelius. But the things that make us the most unhappy are just the things we've put on ourselves. Like if your house burnt down, it's just a house burning down. You could think about it objectively like that and move on and be happier for it. But most people have had it in their mind. It's my house. It'll devastate me. It'll ruin me. So when it happens, it does. It does devastate and ruin them. It doesn't have to. But your expectations determine how your life turns out. And so you just have to let go of them. You have to be present. It's a fight. Every day you have to be present. And life's gone pretty good. I don't know how to say it to you, man, but you gotta let go. When things come up that you want to do, that you know you shouldn't, you gotta let go of it. If it's not helping you, it's hurting you. And so the point is, you just gotta be able to let go. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say it, bro, but the only way to stop overthinking is to let go of your expectations. We only overthink the things that we have expectations on. We only overthink if that girl likes us because we have an expectation for our life's happiness based on if that girl likes us. How unhealthy is that? Or we have an expectation on our friends, because one of the greatest fears I have is dying or just alone, being completely alone. I think that's a lot of people's fear, being alone in this world that's so disconnected and yet so connected. It's so connected superficially that we can't actually bond. Because I realized the friends that I don't talk to, the friends that I don't have a snap streak with, even though I haven't had one in a year, the friends that I don't text every day, but they're the friends that I come and they see them and they call me up randomly out of the blue. And they say, I'm around your house, bro. You want to take a drive to nowhere? And we talk for an hour, driving to nowhere. Those are the friends that you bond with. And you don't have to try either. You've let go of trying, and they still love you. They still like you for who you are. That's the kind of people you want around you. And you can do that by being the kind of person you want to be around. By letting go. The best people I've ever seen, they don't have an expectation for anyone but themselves. You limit yourself. You decide what you do. And so, you just got to let go. It's sad. But the only way to stop the incessant noise is to just let go of holding on to that boombox that's blasting in your ear all the time. And I've done some of my most incredible work when I've just let go. Maybe this video will be it. I doubt it. I'm letting go right now. Chilling. But the point is, you got to be okay with not being okay. It's a fact of life in the end. Nothing lasts forever. And it brings you back to better live every moment like it's your last, and every other piece of crap advice. So I'd say the steps I'd take is when something comes up, think about it objectively. Don't think about it with the lens of rose-colored glasses of love, with the lens of fear of losing your friends, with the lens of I like this story part, but I'm going to take a fat break, because that's 19 minutes of footage.